Very good afternoon and welcome to Matchday Live Extra from Selhurst Park. I'm Mikey Burrows. Alongside me, as ever, is the Hall of Famer Andy Thompson, and in his nice warm home, Chris Awellamo is with us once again. Good to see you, my friend. We won't give you too much stick for being at home because we know you would have been with us if you were allowed to be. It's a long old trip down here to South London, and it's not been one that's been particularly fruitful in recent years for Wolves. Just the one win in the last 5 visits, but we'll come to that a little bit later on. We'll hear from Bruno Lage, and we'll talk to the boys about Raul Jimenez and his 50 goals in gold. We might try and find out some of your favourites as well. Use the hashtag WolvesLive to let us know which was your favourite Raul Jimenez goal. So, Tomo, off the back of an impressive win on Monday night, a win that saw Wolves, I was doing the stats yesterday, and they had more than double the amount of passes that they'd attempted at Leeds a week earlier. Joint highest percentage of possession. It was much more what we expect from Wolves, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And so, we all said at the beginning they were surprised that Traore wasn't playing, but he just tweaked the formation a little bit. Trinko just playing inside, and Wang as well. So just off Raul, which worked brilliantly in that first half. Some of the play, some of the link up play between the lads up front was just great to watch. But second half changed a little bit. They tweaked their formation, brought Delph on as well, just knocked us back a little bit. But they conceded that goal, just hung on for the victory. But I think that they'll be very impressed with the way that they played in that first half.
Looms, it's one of those things at the minute whereby they still haven't quite reached the same levels of those first 3 matches, but yet they're on this brilliant run at the moment.
Mikey, I couldn't say it any better myself. You look at the performance in those first 3 matches, should have been maximum points with the chances created, and then all of a sudden that game against Southampton where it could have went either way, a little bit of magic from Jimenez, gets the goal, unbelievable, but it's about getting results. And like Tomo just alluded to there against Everton, that first half was basically getting the results, the performance, getting the goals, and then having to manage it. So you're not going to get it all right, but that transition, that it's getting better and better and better as the games. But the most important thing, he's getting results along the way. So I'm delighted for Bruno Lage because we can all see exactly what he's brought, how he's tweaked the identity, what we're going to go out and play. But you know, the Premier League's very competitive. You're not going to be allowed to go out there and impose that philosophy of football every game. But when it does click, you see moments of quality like that, moments of brilliance. But along the way, even when it's not a great performance, he's still getting the results.
One of the things that really stood out to me, Tomo, when I was doing the stats yesterday, was just this element that it wasn't just the passing that Wolves had massively improved on. They attempted so many more dribbles. I mean, it's one of those funny stats, and you know what I'm like. I like to pick out these different things, and I'm boring, and I sit there for hours and look through all this kind of stuff. But I try and kind of see patterns to kind of see how things are going at any one time. And it's not since Leicester on that first game had they literally carried the ball as many times as they did against Everton. And it kind of feels to me, and I don't know whether the two of you will agree with this or not, Tomo, you can go first, whether it's that element of, it says to me a team that's full of confidence if they are carrying the ball, if they are dribbling, if they are taking people on.
Well, it is having the confidence, and we're just talking about them dribbling and getting the team further up the pitch. Probably our best dribbler that we think is Traore, who's on the bench at the time. But I've mentioned the other night, so look about our 2 fullbacks. They are important, or very important, in the way that we play. They seem to be the ones who are driving forward. They've got to get the team up there. That first half, it was absolutely brilliant the way that the linked up with the strikers, the wide men, giving us that width as well. And that's what we want. We need that to be doing. So look, we struggled against Leeds second half, but we struggled a little bit against Everton in that second half. But watching that first half, you can see what the manager wants. You can see that he wants his team to push up the pitch a lot further. And the only way he's going to do that is, one, keeping the possession of the ball, but also as well at times having the people who can drive up the pitch and dribble up the pitch. And what they did is give the ammunition for the people up front. And it was good to watch. It had basically everything in that first half for me.
No, Tom was spot on. You think about it, Bruno Lage has come in and it's the possession game, but It's the possession game to get forward. It's not about just keeping the ball. And that's a big part of it. Having players, Ryan Aït-Nouri for me is one of the best as well at driving, getting at players. Trincao, you can see that. He moves the ball so well, but it's that pass or execution. You've got Nelson Semedo jumping down the right-hand side. So there is a lot of players in the team that can drive and create those kind of 1v1s and commit players, pull defenders out of position. That's what it's all about. It's not about just keeping the ball and probing all the time. Yeah, that's part and parcel of the game. But again, if the pass is on to move forward, yeah, you move forward. And like Tom was saying, I think that first half was probably the perfect half. But again, out and tweaked a few things and made it difficult, and that's what the players have to get used to, that they have to then evolve. They then have to say, right, okay, they've done this, how can we get on top again? So it's going to be very interesting today.
We'll hear from Bruno shortly, but we've spoken about it a lot, so let's look back on Monday night's win over Everton. Cody, Saiss and Kilman are amongst those in the penalty area. Aït-Nouri's coming short. Martinho lifts it into the danger zone. It came off an Everton head. It's Neves to strike it, bobbling round, and somehow they can't quite scramble it in. A good foot in by Cody, and Hee-Chan Hwang finding Martinho, and Martinho was thinking about lining one up from distance. Instead goes to Trincao, who curls one. Oh, what an effort and what an equally good save from Jordan Pickford to flick it over the top of the crossbar. As Neves with a very clever pass to Jimenez. Jimenez driving up towards the edge of the box. Still running Jimenez. Tried to flick it into Hee-Chan Hwang against a second chance and squeezes the ball in. And he cannot be stopped at the moment.
I think he's off.
Yeah, he's off.
I think he's off.
Are they checking it though? Surely it does look when he's just poked
They are.
it
It's
through
just
there.
come up on the screen.
I think he's
Checking
just
goal. Possible offside.
I think he's just
He's off. He is off.
He's off.
Yeah.
Aït-Nouri with a corner this time, left-footed from the left-hand side, so the outswinger. It's not a bad delivery. It's headed down and it's headed in! Oh, it's Max Kilman! What a moment! Max Kilman's first goal for Wolves, from arguably the player of the season so far. Keane will switch the play, and Trincao was already sprinting to go and close down on Godfrey, and that's loose, and Jimenez is onto it. It's Jimenez! 2-0 Wolves! The Mexican sensation gets his 50th goal for the club. Martinho, lovely ball in behind. Hee-Chan Hwang driving on, left-hand side of the box, cutting back in front on his right foot, waiting for support to arrive. It's Semedo who gets there. Semedo maybe just took an extra touch, tries to lift it back in. Jimenez header, just wide of the near post. Coleman to the loose ball, to the left-hand side to Damari Gray. Infield to Godfrey. Godfrey lines one up, it bounces towards Iwobi, and Iwobi gets the goal. And Everton are back into the game. Neves. Lovely ball looking for Hwang. Hwang drifting into the penalty area. Now trying to tee it up for Trincao. It's Trincao! Oh, how has he not scored? Left-footed from the right-hand side. The in-swinger flick goalwards, and Jose Sarr with a wonderful save.
Talking about strong teams, I mean, Crystal Palace under Patrick Vieira this season look as though they're developing into a real force, and seeing that explicitly against Manchester City, nobody really would have predicted that victory.
Well, that's the good things in football. You never know, especially here in Premier League. So when you play against that teams have top players, you look for Crystal Palace. I can understand, and you see Man City because they won the title. But when you look for the squad of Crystal Palace, you can see Patrick Vieira have 6 big solutions to play in front. So tomorrow he have 3 to play against us and 3 top players in the bench. And I work with one of them. I work with Jordan Ayew and Swansea, and I know the quality of the players. So it's not about the team or the club. It's about the players. Every club have, and here every team have top players.
Bruno Lage, this is the side that he has selected today. It is unchanged from the team that started on Monday night. Francisco Trincao keeping his place in the starting lineup. Max Kilman having signed that new lengthy contract yesterday, following on from his a first goal for the club on Monday night. What a season he is having, and a couple of youngsters amongst the bench as well as those senior players of Daniel Podence. Will Willy Bolly get on the field in the Premier League this season? Still having to wait from the incredible form that Max Kilman certainly has been showing, and maybe Romain Saiz as well. Adama Traore amongst the substitutes again, Tomo. That's, I guess, the one perhaps surprise that he didn't get on the pitch on Monday night, and there's been a lot talked about him. His element is that, you know, he needs to produce when he gets the opportunity now.
Yeah, it is, and he's changed the formation a little bit, hasn't he? Where you got Wang and you just got Chinko just coming in off the flanks, and it worked really well, especially in that first half the other night. And you could see, because like I say, we questioned about why is Traore not playing, but you could see clearly why in that first half. The link-up play, the one-touch, little balls around the corner, done by the three lads up front, and so like it was just great to watch some of the play and the confidence that was coming out in the team. But at the end of the day, so like once you get out there, we've said this before, you've got to produce, you've got to make sure that you're doing the best that you can on there. And at the time, I didn't think that Traore was supplying enough for me, because I think he's got a lot more to offer this team, and I think if he can just get that final delivery, final ball, he'll be a different type of player. But I thought second half, we could have possibly needed him, because like, we're struggling to get up the field, and he's somebody who can do that for your team.
Well, we'll wait and see what impact he has from the bench today. In a moment, we're going to hear from Chris Awolamo to wax lyrical about Raul Jimenez, and we know he loves doing that. But let's find out the little context of today's game. Gemma Frith has been putting it into context for us.
Yes, we are in South London for Crystal Palace v Wolves. Of our previous 70 meetings with the Eagles, only 6 of those have come in the Premier League, and none of those matches have been particularly high scoring either. Neither of us have been able to score more than 2 goals in any of our meetings in the top flight, but that could all change this afternoon given our current form, winning 4 of the past 5. And our last victory, of course, came under the lights at Molineux on Monday night, and Raul scored his 50th goal for Wolves. And we also saw a debut goal from Max Kilman, who has just signed a new contract until 2026. Our opponents, Crystal Palace, are also enjoying a run of positive performances at the moment, with their 2-0 surprise victory over Manchester City last time out. So it's all to play for here this afternoon as we look for our 6th victory of the season. And let's not forget that 3 points here today could get us up to 5th in the table.
Gemma Frith down at pitch side a little bit earlier. So Raul Jimenez, 50th goal for the club on Monday night. So we thought we'd go to the man who knows most about scoring goals on our panel. It's not Andy Thompson. It's quite clearly Chris Awolamo.
I was going to answer.
It's quite clearly Chris Awolamo.
No, Tom, come on, son.
Sorry, mate.
Looms, just talk to me about the impact that he has had, and I guess how you've rated his return from such a lengthy period out.
You know, I think when we first seen Raul Jimenez, you know, you seen what was there. You know, that work ethic that he does the basic requirements very, very well. But then all of a sudden, probably worked too hard without the ball. Like he was clinical, always very much a team player. Bring other players in. Yes, he gets frustrated when he misses chances, but you know what? The goals that he scores, he's an outlet. Always wants the ball. Never shies away. Never hides. And you know what? Mentally, as well as what he's been away, being out the gate, away from the game for so long, coming back, we all had that worry. You know, is he going to be the same player? And I think he's answered those questions. He's blew those questions out the water, hasn't he? Really, because it's took his time. But it does, you know, to get up to match sharpness, to get up to kind of the fitness levels up. I seen from the first game at away at Crewe. That I was doing, that he was still brave. He's putting his head in there, putting his body in there, and it's just needed that goal to come. And like you say, he has been outstanding, and no one should have been surprised that he's got back to that level and beyond.
But it's that element, isn't it, Tomo, that I said to you on Monday night. I spoke to him at the back end of last season, and he said he didn't just want to get back to the level he was before. He wanted to come back better. And I genuinely think he has come back better. There feels like there is even more to his game now.
Yeah, and like you said there, so like he's got it in his head now that he wants to go out there, he wants to perform, and that will be a big thing as well, because psychologically, so like that's always the problem coming back. No matter what injury you've had, but especially with him having a head injury, it's about that bravery and getting that bravery back, going up for set plays, heading the ball, because he's sure to have like glimpses in his mind of what's gone on in the past. I know he said he can't remember what happened, basically, but I'm sure that he's seen it time and time again. And the way that he's come back, he's still willing to put his head in there and go up for challenges. And we've seen the old Raul, especially in the last 2 or 3 games. For me, I think that he's definitely come back. His work ethic that he's got, he's sort of about his goal, what he got. It wasn't just about working hard. What a finish. So he probably is the only one in our team who could probably have a finish like that. And it just shows you what he adds to this team. And we always said we're missing our centre forward. And this club loves their number 9s, as we all know. And it just shows you what he offers the actual team as well.
Mike, it's interesting what you say, that you believe that he's came back better. I think he's always had that quality, but under Nuno, with the way that Nuno played, he was effective. And you could see he got a little bit frustrated. He was dropping deep, wanting to get more touches of the ball. Under Bruno Lage, it's a completely possession game where he's getting lots of touches, we're on top. He's not just getting himself in the box, but he's going out wide, he's receiving the ball. And it's a different dynamic altogether, but he's always had that as part of his game. I think we're seeing more of Raul Jimenez, more of what he can do under Bruno Lage for the way that the team's going out there and playing.
He's not scored against Crystal Palace yet. I say yet, could today be the day? We'll take a look as we discuss now about Palace, some of the goals we have scored here in the last couple of seasons. It's an interesting battle, this one, Tomo. 2 teams who are in relatively good form. Palace a lot more draws than anything else, but they are hard to beat here.
Yeah, they are. They're a difficult team, and you saw last week as well that they can beat anybody. They beat Man City last week, and it shows that they're the tough opponents. And I always think that this is one of the venues that you come to that it's always difficult to get a win. It's one of the old grounds in the league, really tight to the pitch. They get the atmosphere of the crowd behind them. But you've just got to get out there and battle. That's the one thing that you have to do against Crystal Palace. You have to compete with them. And if you don't do that, then they've got some quality players. I know they've had a big turnaround in players because of people in out of contract, but he seems to have recruited pretty well. And again, they've got Zaha, who's always a nuisance to us, and that's what we've got to look at. We've got to make sure that we get into them, keep it tight. We've got Benteke up front, who's going to be a problem in the air on set plays and balls up to him as well. So we've just got to make sure that we compete with them, and that's going to be the thing this afternoon, just getting into them and making sure that it's difficult for them.
Looms, what are the key areas for you?
Yeah, you know what? I think you look at, you've got Benteke, that aerial threat. You've got Zaha, Odson-Edouard, who I think does both very well. He can move across the floor. He's very technical, but he's also a presence. I think you've got to look at Conor Gallagher for me. He's the engine, and that's where that battle's going to be. You know, and I guess in the middle of the field. I think if we can get on our front foot, like you say, it's important. Go out and be competitive that first 15, 20 minutes, and then when you get control of the ball and you know that you can be a little bit more dominant then. But this, honestly, at Palace, the fans are right on top of you. The atmosphere is always electric there, and that's why you either feed off that or you can crumble. But like you say, if you got on top of a Palace side, that filters down as well. That negativity that comes in puts more pressure on them to play. But like you say, they have, and those front 4 players, I think if you silence them, then the game's yours. But that's a big ask, you know, because they all do everything very, very well.
Very quickly then, prediction time. What are you going for, Looms?
I'm going for your one, Mikey. I'm going for an ugly 1-0 win, and I'll be delighted.
Tomo?
Well, I say I can't bet against them, so I'm going to go for a 2-1 Wolves victory. That'd be great. I know it's been difficult down here, but I'm confident today.
I don't know what's going on. I'm feeling slightly confident, and Looms has stolen my 1-0, so I'm going to go for a 3-1 victory.
Oh, wow. Are you all right there? You all right?
Yeah, Mikey. What's going on, mate?
Nearly fell off his chair.
Christmas countdown has
Check his
started.
flask. Tomo.
I was going to say, he has been drinking a bit out of there, to be fair.
There will be more from Chris Uwelimo on our full radio commentary available via the Wolves app, On the Move, and at wolves.co.uk with Tomo and I. Switch over for that now. But to build you up towards kickoff, let's take a look at 10 of the best from Raul Jimenez.
looking downfield, flicks it infield to Gibbs White, who rolls his man, trying to hold off Fabregas. Good run this from Gibbs White, onto Jimenez, into the penalty area, Jimenez! Raul Jimenez! Raul Jimenez! Raul Jimenez! You beauty! That's the goal they came for! That's the goal we wanted! It's the goal that gets Wolves back in the game! Coutinho trying to lift one towards Caballero. Johnny is up in support. Caballero going in field. Now finding Jimenez. Jimenez to the edge of the box. Jimenez shooting! Jimenez scoring! Oh my word! What a moment! A goal worthy of Wembley! Raul Jimenez has given Wolves the lead with 7 minutes to go! What an unbelievable turnaround! Here comes Podence over the halfway line, skipping away from his man. Down the left-hand side, he's got support from Neto. Trying to cross in towards Jimenez, who helps it goals! Oh, what a start! Raul Jimenez immediately picks up where he left off in such devastating fashion last season. Wolves' first real chance of the new campaign. It did not take them long. It's Sheffield United 0, Wolves 1. Traore trying to hold off his man. Jimenez will get it. Jimenez trying to set Traore away. Flag has stayed down against Adama Traore. Into the penalty area he goes. Traore trying to check back onto his left foot. Pulling it back for Jimenez! Raul Jimenez into the bottom corner. What a stunning comeback this has been. Wolves from 2-0 down at the break. Now lead by 3 goals to 2 with 14 minutes to go. The Mexican sensation comes up with the goods again. With a throw down the line. This ball's going to find its way through to Jimenez. Now Neto was blocked off the ball. Jimenez might go in alone. Oh, what a goal! That is absolutely stunning. The Mexican sensation has delivered again. He catalyses on a mistake, drives through the heart of the Torino defence and drives a stake through it too, because he gives Wolves a 2-goal advantage again. His forwards though, it's taken out to Doherty on the right hand side. Doherty will try and stand into the danger zone. Jimenez trying to bring it down. Jimenez! Raul Jimenez! The Mexican sensation produces on the grandest stage again. The wrestling Sin Cara mask comes out. Joyous scenes of pure pandemonium from everybody in gold and black. It's Wolves 2, Watford 0. Ball will find its way to Traore. And Traore trying to hold off a couple of challenges here. And now racing over the halfway line. And he's played in Matt Doherty down the right-hand side. Jota is racing up there as well. Doherty trying to strike it. Comes to Jimenez. Oh my word! Raul Jimenez with a stunning finish from the edge of the penalty area into the far corner. The Mexican sensation has delivered something special when his team needed him the most. It's Burnley 0, Wolves 1. Jimenez over the halfway line. Clever footwork by Jimenez. Now trying to send Traore away. Traore lifting his cross in. Jimenez! Raul Jimenez arrives 10 yards out to place his header into the far corner. Molyneux is alive again. It's Wolves 1, Liverpool 1. Game on at Molyneux. Vinagre trying to clip it forwards to Jota. Oh, what a turn by Jota, leaving Lucas Moura for dead. Now driving deep into the Spurs half. If he looks up, he can try and feed it to the path of Jimenez. Jimenez into the area, back onto his left foot. Raul Jimenez! Raul Jimenez gives Wolves the lead. Oh my word, that is stunning. What a goal from Wolverhampton Wanderers. From the run from Jota, the feed to the Mexican sensation. He cut onto his left foot and he finds the far corner. It's Tottenham 2, Wolves 3. What a memorable turnaround again from the boys in old goal.
Smalling did really well, headed away by Dallon.
picked up by Matinho out on the left-hand side. Matinho, can he get this ball back in the penalty area? He's going to drive alone. Jean Matinho pulls the cross. Jimenez can't quite get the strike away and is bobbing round. Jimenez shoots. Jimenez scores. Jimenez scores. Raul Jimenez scores. Oh my word, what a moment. And sheer pandemonium at Molineux. Would you believe this? The Mexican sensation comes up with the goods again, and it's Wolves 1, Manchester United 0.
Yeah, the pressure's been...
To hit this on the turn, as he does, it is sensational.